Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to do a quick video for you guys, talking to you a little bit about how my winter has gone and some things I've been doing in my training and kind of what I'm looking forward to here this spring. I know it's been, I think the last video I did here in the channel was like October of last year, but you know, here where I live in New York, obviously we get, you know, really bad winters with a lot of snow, and I'm pretty much forced to only train indoors. So I haven't made any videos because I haven't really had anything, you know, too super interesting to share with you guys, other than the fact that I've, you know, been continuing my indoor training. But I wanted to kind of just do a recap of what I have been doing, some things that I've, you know, learned this off season, some things I've enjoyed incorporating into my training, and you know, kind of where I'm currently, you know, sitting at in my training and stuff like that. So to start out, like I said, since last October, what I've pretty much been doing, of course, I've been exclusively indoor training. Haven't done any outdoor riding whatsoever. Just have not had an opportunity to. Roads are always horrible, a lot of snow, super cold, stuff like that. So I've only been indoor training, and I took my power pedals off. You know, basically after I stopped making videos there in October, I took my power meter pedals off, and pretty much have only just recently, within the last week, gotten back to putting those back on. And I'm going to explain to you guys why I did that. Now, basically I just wanted to have a little bit of a mental reset and stuff after the season. So I took the power meter, you know, pedals off, and just pretty much all winter what I've been working on is, you know, a lot of base training, a lot of base level riding. And basically what I have done is, as you guys know in that last video, I told you I've been incorporating my tread climber into my workouts a lot more, and I've done a lot of that this winter. And any of you that are following me on Strava, if you're keeping up if you're following me on Strava, you'll see I've done a lot of tread climber workouts this year. And basically what I've done all winter is, and I've liked doing this because I just find it, for myself anyways, it's a little bit easier for me mentally to, you know, to do a 2 to 3 hour long treadmill, you know, incline treadmill endurance workout where I'm still getting, you know, good cardio workout and stuff. I find it easier for me to get through that mentally on the tread climber than it is to, you know, do a lower intensity endurance level, you know, bike ride on the rollers. So pretty much what I've done is, any day that I've wanted to do, you know, that 2 to 3 hour long workout and just kind of work primarily on endurance, I've been doing the tread climber. And on those, you know, 2 to 3 days a week when I've wanted to pick up the intensity a little bit more, I've been on the rollers and been doing that. And because, you know, I don't want to ride hard every day. So basically, if I've been kind of days I've wanted to go a little bit easier, I've done the tread climber. Days where I've wanted to go hard on the bike, or a little bit harder on the bike, I've been on the rollers. And I have had some days on the tread climber where I have done high intensity work there also. But on the longer endurance days, I have been pretty much exclusively on the tread climber, and I think it has really worked out well for me this winter. Now, as far as how I've been riding my rollers, I haven't had power. So what I've done is, I made a video last summer talking to you guys about when I ride my rollers, I was on the second magnet setting, and that was, you know, kind of all I needed to do. Well, what I've done over the winter is I've progressively kind of slowly worked my way up, is I've actually now gone to the most difficult magnet setting on my eMotion rollers. And what I've done pretty much every week is, even though I haven't had power, I've been kind of training by gear ratios. So although I haven't had power, basically what I did is, you know, say for example I was on a particular week where I knew, okay, if I'm on big ring up front and the third tooth down from the top and the back, you know, I'll use that as my base gear. And, you know, pretty much I would ride that gear for a week, you know, and then the next week I would maybe go to the fourth gear down. And I've just kind of slowly, progressively worked my way up to, you know, turning a little bit harder and harder gearing as the winter's gone on. So I've kind of used that as a way to train with power, so to speak, without really looking at the numbers, you know, because I just wanted a mental reset from the numbers and get away from that for a little bit. But I still, didn't want to just do totally cakewalk workouts on my rollers either. I've been keeping the intensity up pretty hard. And what I have come to find out, like I told you guys, I just recently put my power meter pedals back on, my P1s. And what I have found is, by now having the power meter data back in play, looking at those gears I was riding, and I can see that pretty much I spent all winter on the bike, really, working that tempo level riding. And I think it's helped possibly make me, have a higher level of fitness today than I had last year. From looking at the power numbers in the last week, I've been riding with power my last 3 or 4 rides, and I am sustaining numbers on the rollers that were really challenging me last year. Just, for an example, last year on my rollers, last summer when I would do an occasional roller workout, if it was raining or whatever outside, basically 250 to 270 watts would like really challenge me, and it would like be my like absolute like maximum level effort would be 250, 270 watts would really challenge me last year on the rollers. And I've been doing some intervals here the last week, in that 250 to even up towards 300 watts, and they don't seem as hard. It doesn't seem as hard. It doesn't seem as hard as it did last year. Now, does that mean that I'm more fit today than I was last summer? Even though I've pretty much been, for the most part, doing a lot of base work and a lot of tempo level riding. Quite possibly, and if so, I'm obviously encouraged about that. And the only way to find out for sure is when I get out on the roads, come springtime, and see exactly what those numbers play. But last year, and I was just talking to a buddy of mine about it a few days ago. Last year, what I noticed was basically, and I don't know why this is the case. I really don't have an answer as to why this is the case, but it's just something I noticed. But last year, I was finding out that basically I could sustain like 80 to 100 more watts outside on the hills than I could on the rollers. Why that's the case, I have no idea. I don't know if the fact that you're on the rollers, if it does something, if because you have to ride with more control and more balance, are you using some energy doing that you can't put into putting power? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. All I know is, based off everything I've seen so far in my own riding, say, for example, I could hold 270 watts out of the saddle on the rollers. Roughly on the road, that would equate to about 350 watts. And it would be about the same as far as intensity that I feel in my sustainability. So, does that mean that, because I was just I've been pushing intervals this past week in the 280 range and been able to sustain that for, probably 10 minutes or so, maybe longer. Does that mean I could go out and push, 360 watts up a hill right now? I sure hope so. I hope that's the case. I won't know until I get outside again. But I guess long story short here, what I'm saying is, I really think, the training I've been doing this winter has helped me possibly, come into this spring even more fit than I was last year. And I think the tread climber has a lot to do with that. And I told you guys I would share with you my thoughts on the tread climbing and how I thought that's helped. And I really think that's helped my riding. And a couple of reasons for that. A, it's been a good way for me to do those longer 2-3 hour rides. Uphill walks / jogs. Look at my Strava. You can see the data. I have a lot of 2 to 3 hour, endurance tread climbs. And basically what I do on my tread climber is I start out at like 15% incline, 3.5 miles an hour, and every couple of minutes until I get really good and warmed up, I just slowly increase the incline. Go from 15% to 16%, and then to 17%, and then to 18%. Just kind of slowly build my way up, and I have, several workouts this winter where I was doing, 2 hours at, 21% incline, and I would gain, 7,000 feet of elevation in that time frame. And so I've been doing a lot of elevation. I mean, just yesterday I did a 3-hour endurance tread climb. 18% incline for 3 hours. I climbed to 8,000 feet in 3 hours. So I think the tread climbing has been good in two ways. Like I said, I've been still getting those real long endurance-based training workouts in. And B, at the same time, with the incline, with the fact that I'm always doing incline up in that, 17 to 23% range, pretty much, that I've been basically building leg strength the whole time. So I've been getting good endurance level training from the fact that I'm, working my cardio system. And B, my leg muscles have been building I've been getting good leg muscle workouts all winter on the treadmill, on the tread climber, because I've been continuously doing, pretty serious incline. And like I said, I've had some of those higher intensity workouts. I have a couple of workouts, actually several, where I would be up into the 28, 30% incline, basically like a max level effort, like you're climbing a 25% hill in a race on a bike. I've had those level of efforts on my tread climber also. So I really think the tread climber has been good for me to build leg strength this winter. I just feel like I can push a little bit bigger gears than I could last year. And I think that's from doing the tread climbing so much, and from also slowly working my way up on the gears on the rollers. Like I said, I was every week or so, I would kind of go up a gear harder in my base riding. So I was continuously increasing the force production demands on my riding all winter. So I really feel like I have gained a level of strength and a level of fitness here so far this winter. I've noticed a physical change in the appearance of my legs. I've noticed that my legs, the muscles in my legs, just look bigger than they were last year. So I do feel like I made some strength gains over last year. Now from a body weight standpoint, I think this morning I was like 126. So I've been hovering anywhere from like 124 to as much as 131 this winter, anywhere in that kind of 6-pound window. I'm probably, maybe 3 or 4 pounds on average heavier than I was last summer, which is good because I think once spring finally arrives and I increase my volume again, get back to my summertime riding, regimen, that I'm going to be able to shave that 3 or 4 pounds right back off and get right back down to where I was last summer pretty quickly and be right back where I was. So body weight wise, I'm happy with where I'm at. Feel like I can cut that additional 3 or 4 pounds within a couple of weeks come spring. So I'm good there. As far as other things I wanted to fill you guys in on, like I said, I just got back to the power meter. Just put those back on. I'm gonna start getting back into the power numbers. Like I said, I had about a 3-month break from the power stuff. Gonna get back into that. But just wanted to give you guys kind of a quick update here on how things have been going. That's kind of how my winter training has gone. Like I said, you can follow it all on Strava. I'll post a link for my Strava here in the show notes if anybody's interested in following along there. So that's what I've been doing. I don't know what, I just want to share this with you guys, let you know kind of what's worked for me. Let me know what you guys have been doing this winter. I'm interested to hear what you've been doing in your training. Have you been doing structured, really structured stuff? Have you not been? Have you not been writing? Have you been killing it? I mean, let me know what's going on. I'm always interested to hear what other people are doing. Like I said, as far as that whole structure stuff, I really haven't done any real structure this winter, other than the fact that I've just kind of stuck to the polarized approach. And, the vast majority of my workouts are still those longer, more endurance-based workouts. And on average, about once a week, I'm really trying to push the envelope and push myself pretty hard and just trying to push new boundaries. So I've kind of just continued on with the polarized approach. I'm going to plan on sticking with this approach. I really don't have any plans on like doing a formalized trainer road workout plan or anything like that. I think my personal life, my personal life and my work schedule are still just a little bit too erratic for me to I just think invest in a coach. I thought about investing in a coach, but like I said, my work schedule is just so apt to throwing monkey wrenches into the mix that I can't control, that I just think that having a coach and missing workouts due to work would just cause me stress that I don't need. So I kind of like doing things on my own at this point. I feel like I've done pretty well, all things considered. So, like I said, guys, just wanted to give you a quick, kind of a brief update here. Like I said, I apologize for not posting more regular videos during the winter time, but there's only so much I can show you here. I mean, I've pretty much just been doing my workouts here in the living room. Got my rollers here in the living room. My tread climbers behind me, also in my living room. And I basically just kind of train all winter and, listen to music. I mean, not really much I can show you guys other than do these kind of recap videos, letting you know how my training is going and why I'm doing what I'm doing and what my thoughts are. As far as volume, like I said, my volume is down a little bit, obviously, because it's wintertime and I'm indoors. But I've still been averaging, I think if I was to average the last 3 months, I'm probably averaging in that, 11 to 13 hours a week training time. So which is pretty good, considering the fact that I'm indoors. So I'm hoping to bump that back up to 20 plus hours come springtime and outdoor riding season. So anyways, guys, thanks again for tuning in to the for following the channel, for subscribing. I appreciate all the support getting here in the channel. Really appreciate it. Like I said, let me know what you guys have been doing in training. I think it's great, and we can all learn from each other. And the things that work for you could work for me, and vice versa. So let me know what you're doing in your training, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys in more regular videos this spring. But make sure you're training out there, and I'll see you guys in my next video.